So by now you all know the facts and have construed your own opinions on the subject. We all have something to say about what's going on, but when we say it, it's usually the case that we are putting the blame upon others. We seldom reflect on our own actions and many times free ourselves of guilt. We ask ourselves questions like, how is any of this possible? We must make a change. And when we answer these questions, we say, oh, it's other people or it's an older generation. Things aren't as bad as they used to be. There's been much progress, and progress means a knife used to be stuck into someone's back 9 inches deep, and we've pulled it out 6 inches out. The truth is something we do not admit to ourselves, because the truth is something we do not need to stare in the mirror, and we do not want to confront it. You often hear a poet say that the world is a beautiful place, and that life is the strangest thing that anyone has ever experienced. And that's part of the issue, because we live in a disgusting world. We allow it, we make it so. I remember the day that Eric Garner died. I was living in New York City. I was working in a financial firm. One of my coworkers told me that Eric Garner shouldn't have struggled. He should not have resisted. It was his fault for resisting. As his life was flashing in front of his eyes, the last breath of his existence escaping in front of him, the thoughts of never seeing his family again, the thing that Eric Garner should have been thinking about is now resisting against his murder. It was caught on video, and the autopsy confirmed, just so you guys know, it was a chokehold death. A clear and defined and undisputed murder. But it was Eric Garner's fault for not for resisting. For being a thug, the new N-word. If she was just a regular black guy, not the N-words, those are different. This kind of attitude in the office and at home and in public and by the police force and by the state, it exists because all of us here accommodated. Racism exists because we accommodate it. We accommodate racism when we say that if you resist arrest, you deserve what's coming to you. Whether you rob a store or sell loose cigarettes or play with a toy gun in public, and you don't give up all your rights and lie down on the ground because of the color of your skin, you deserve to die. And we accommodate racism when we say, hey, it happens to white people too. They wouldn't be rioting in Ferguson if the victim was white. Black people are displaying despicable behavior when they riot, when they loot, when they show outrage, and when they raise their voice. And we accommodate racism when we say racism is the problem of an older generation. Guess what? I'm 26 years old and Darren Wilson is 28. Him and I went to the same parties. We played beer pong and guitar rock and Settlers of Catan and Cards Against Humanity. We both use the same social media and we both click on the same viral videos. And we get with the same girls. And we high-five our friends in the same way. And Darren Wilson and I will live the same life, and we will die at the same time. And that is accommodating racism. And we accommodate racism when we see a relative post a disgusting comment on Facebook. On Selma disagrees with your fucking little link on Facebook that says, oh, she says, it goes beyond police protocol. He was a thug. You know, Anselmo says it has something to come with him. He was asking for it. He was a no-good thug. He robbed a convenience store. And she thinks, she links to a picture of him holding a gun. And it's not actually him, but it doesn't matter to her. Because it fits the narrative we uphold. And we accommodate racism when we don't unfriend and block Anselma's racist ass, and we hug her at Thanksgiving, and we don't say anything. She is our aunt. Who cares, right? We accommodate racism when we hear that a black person has been killed by a white police officer, and we say that we have to wait for the trial and the full story to come out before we say or do or think or feel anything. Even though studies have shown white police officers are more likely to shoot a black man not holding a weapon than at a white man holding a gun. That police view black children as much older than they seem. That the media refers to black youth as men. That Darren Wilson literally said that he saw a demon face staring at him in his grand jury testimonial. The day he shot Michael Brown, he literally, like I'm doing right now, spoken word. He did a spoken word and said, I saw a demon face. He demonized black people. And we accommodate racism when we protect the racist freedom of speech of outspoken racisms. And this might sound funny to you, but we accommodate racism by watching V for Vendetta and not being offended. And by giving Macklemore a Grammy. By saying that Eminem is the greatest rapper of all time. By saying that Lil Wayne is a thug. And by decimating the Black Panther Party and allowing the Ku Klux Klan to exist. And we accommodate racism when we look in the mirror and we don't admit that we are part of the problem. Because accommodating racism is racism. That we are racist, that I am a racist, and only now can I admit that. And I am willing to change. And I want everybody here to look to your left and look to your right. You're probably white. And when was the last time you told a black person that you love them? Fort Collins has been eerily quiet these past few weeks compared to other cities. Maybe that's why it's consistently voted one of the best places to live in America? Silence is consent. Spoken word owes everything to the black community. And here we are, knife in hand, 3 inches deep, and we refuse to pull it out. Thank you.